What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot coming back to use another video. And today's video marks the finals of S. Dot Battlegrounds number 6. We have Aggro cards played by Bretosaurus, who is our 2-time SDBG champion so far. He's won the previous tournament, SDBG 5, and he also won the 3rd tournament. And then we have Carl Indris with Secret Sentinels. Now, this plays the Sentinel Prowl and the Sentinel Ironhide, who also gets an additional bold from, as you can see, his General Optimus Prime Infantry Commander. So these are 2 aggro. Well, Carl's deck is a bit mixed, but it's still more on the aggro side than anything, probably like an 80-20, 70-30 split. And jumping right into it, we see Bretosaurus with a very powerful mechanic that he's been using all tournament in private downshift. Downshift is one of the omnibots from the SDCC 2019 pack, and what it allows you to do is at the beginning of the game, you're allowed to play one of your weapons from your hand onto one of your omnibots. So as you can see, he played a grenade launcher, still the best weapon in the game, and what he's also doing now is triggering the Wheeljack effect. So he drew a card, and he's thinking about what card to pitch from his hand. Now what's happening right here is the fact that this grenade launcher is on downshift, and he has 8 attack. 8 attack being able to start right out the gate is kind of insane. And then what he can also most likely do is flip the downshift and draw a card, which is actually really good. Such a solid first turn. So I see why this has put him in the finals yet again. And okay, so that's exactly what's happening. So he's going to cycle a card with the Wheeljack, and then he's going to attack with downshift into, I'm not sure, he might try to go for Prowl and just one-hit KO the Prowl, which is very possible. Keep in mind the General Prime does give bold and tough 1 to each of his other characters. He does flip a blue, and oh no, he actually went for his best guy. Okay, so he went for the General Prime for looks like 9 damage. That's a good grit on the very first turn. Yeah, I'm assuming, I guess he had 4, 11. Oh no, that's like, I can't tell what the dice is. Screen's a little blurry, but it looks like 7 damage. So we got a supercharge on the Prowl going into downshift, and he's going right in here. So he has bold 1 from himself, bold 3 from the supercharge, and then bold 1 extra from the General Prime. And I'm not even going to bother counting the damage, because as you can see, it looks like Carl flipped 2 double oranges, and that downshift is out of here. So things are already looking really good for Carl, seeing that as he KO'd Bretosaurus's bot in 1 hit. So we're going to trade Tackle for the Nobles Blaster. Interesting tech choice. I think I've seen him use it once in a tournament. Seemed pretty good. Next up, I think Brett is thinking about it looks like an espionage that he has. Also, keeping in mind the press day advantage that you see flip there. I think both players actually flip the press day advantage at some point, especially Brett now, as you can see. Press day advantage has no green icon in these tournaments forever. So the card will always be legal, unlike it was actually banned in the WTC tournaments. I want to say right before Wave 4 started, right? So yeah, that's gonna kind of change the landscape. I think Autobots still fall off a good bit, like once we get to the Wave 5 tournament, no matter what anyway, so it is what it is. But anyway, so at this point, what Brett really needs to do is get a one-shot on his Prowl to kind of even the odds, especially because the Optimus Prime has so much damage on it already, which means that the next time Prime gets attacked, he's most likely going to die, unless Carl has like a force field or something to be able to protect it. To better protect it, rather. Gonna play the Erratic Lightning on the Cliff Jumper. That's gonna allow the Wheeljack to trigger again, because it is in alt mode to draw a card and discard a card. He's gonna flip Wheeljack to draw a card. Wheeljack is such a great card to be able to cycle through your deck. You break even, and then anytime you flip a card again, of course you draw for Cliff Jumper. We have a supercharge coming in, and we have 8 attack, bold 3 with the Cliff Jumper coming in. 2 defense on the crackback, so this is definitely going to be a very solid attack. I imagine that the Prowl is definitely going to die here. Now there's a chance that Carl can flip enough blues to potentially live, but it looks like we have about 13 attack coming in. We do flip a blue, and okay, he flips 2 blues here, so he has 3, but he's still going to take 10 and die on the dot. Wow. So those exactsies always get you. Of course, I looked away when he picked up a green, but of course, I'm sure you guys saw it. So Carl's going to draw for turn. I'll take it back. You know what? The Cliff Jumper only has 1 defense on the crackback, because the Erratic Lightning is an orange icon weapon that gives +3 attack and -1 defense. So we have a supercharge and a okay. So I'm kind of like future guessing what happens this game. I can kind of potentially see it. Ironhide needs to try to kill the Cliff Jumper here, and being that the nature of Carl's deck is mixed, he's not going to flip as many oranges as he would like to. And but he does have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attack. So he's going to take 7 here, unless yeah, you only flip 2 cards. Unless Bretosaurus flips a blue. Yeah, he's okay. I take that back. I can't count. He's gonna take 9. What was I thinking about? I guess he had 10 attack. My bad, 10. So he took 9. He needed to get to 12 there, but unfortunately he flipped a good bit of blues there. Not what you want to see on attack, but again, that's the nature of a mixed deck, and that's just gonna happen. You know, good old RNG and variance. I'm assuming Carl's asking how many of a certain card he has in his graveyard. Maybe Peaceful Tyranny, because Brett is flashing through his graveyard. So a couple of different things can happen here. First things first, Wheeljack 100% needs to kill this Ironhide here. This is such an important turn because what that puts Carl on is a clock. And the thing is, being that that Cliff Jumper is at 9 damage, he needs a one-shot stand, one-shot fall in order to beat that Cliff Jumper, and then also be able to one-hit KO the Wheeljack. That's like the best case scenario. And the thing is, I don't even think, being at how mixed Carl's deck is, I don't even think he's playing one-shot stand, one-shot fall. So Brett is actually in a really solid position here right now, if he can kill the Ironhide this turn. I'm not sure if Bretosaurus is playing any burn, and if he's playing any rock tosses or one-shot stands or anything himself, or zaps, but we will see. But his best case scenario, I mean, the Wheeljack has a high potential to be able to, well, you know what? Also, an untap would be really good here. I take that back. If he has a Turbo Booster could be kind of insane here. Him flipping this Wheeljack face down is telegraphing that he does have a Turbo Booster, and sure enough, he does. So the untaps is the one thing that will always give you an edge over any three wide aggro versus another 3-wide aggro, mirror match. So being that he's able to do that now, again, when he flipped the Wheeljack, that is immediately telegraphed that he had a Turbo Booster, and then he was able to cycle another card, and now he has 9 attack going into this Ironhide. I don't think he cares about killing it this turn, but at the same time, I guess it would be nice. He flips a solid amount of cards. He flips for 13. If Carl doesn't flip any blues here, actually he has to flip 2 blues here, and he doesn't. Wow. So he only flips 1 blue, and he takes 10, and he actually dies on the dot. That was a huge turn. That white being able to extend Brett into 2 more flips to hit an improvised shield, another orange, really puts Carl in the bind. The best thing Carl can do here right now is to play a force field, and even then, Brett probably still has a bashing shield in his hand. Things are all of a sudden looking really good for Brett with that Turbo Booster, and of course, that's what cars do. That's their best feature. 3 start your engines, 3 Turbo Booster to be able to untap. It's kind of insane. So not a force field, but he's going to play an improvised shield to try and protect, being that he does play a good bit of mixed cards again. But I don't think that's going to actually really help here that much. He is swinging for a good bit, and well, he doesn't need much. I mean, the Cliff Jumper only has 1 defense. That first turn with the downshift kind of created this whole situation. And I also think that, of course, the downshift with the grenade launcher and then the Turbo Booster is definitely what changed the landscape of this game. Putting 7 damage on your best character at the beginning of the game is pretty powerful. Gonna play a Power Punch on the Wheeljack, gonna cycle again. He's probably digging through his deck because he has flipped a good bit of double oranges throughout the game. So as you can see, he's about to deck out here. And the ruling is, if you deck out while you're still flipping cards for Wheeljack, as long as the game sees that there was a weapon in the scrap pile before reshuffling, you'll still have the both 3. He's gonna play Espionage here. Espionage is probably gonna call orange. Probably not that it matters here. The Optimus is probably dead here this turn. We're talking about 5 bolt 6 going into Optimus, and Carl might flip 2 blues, and that still might not be enough. So, yep, Wheeljack's gonna go in. 9, 10, 11. So we got 11 here, and he still has 3 flips. 1, 2, 4, 6. Yep. So we got 11 attack. Even if Carl flips 2 blues and is at 4, he's still gonna take 7 damage. So, and then again, Brett still has like a 5 or 3 flips rather. Not to mention if he hits a white, he has 2 more flips. So. Giving his opponent an option to cut whatever way he'd like. That's 12. Got 2 more flips, 13. Oh, there's the white, 14, 15. Yeah, so Carl would literally have to flip all blues here, and I don't even know if flipping all blues, because let's say you flip 3 blues, you'd be at 5, you still take 10, that's still game. And not even close. Yeah. So at this point, yeah, to save some time, there's no point even flipping any more cards. As you can see, his first couple of flips weren't doing anything, and we're gonna move on to game 2. So it looks like for game 2 here, Carl's going to start with not flipping anybody, doesn't have a lot of flip density in this version of the deck, and he's going to send Prowl into, I'm not sure, but he's going to send it into downshift. Okay, so what this sets up is, that's what, about 9 attack? Yeah, 9 attack. Or 10 attack, excuse me. What this sets up is for if he sends the downshift in, of course it's immediately going to die to whatever the next attack is. I wonder if he has a weapon to be able to play on his downshift on his first turn, and it's on your first turn. It's not the first turn of the game, it's on your first turn. So you start with 4 cards in your hand, and of course you can't draw the 5, but being that he went second, he can draw the 5, which increases his chances of being able to play a weapon. I'm not sure, I have to read downshift, but I'm not sure if he, oh, well, none of that matters. I will stop talking about it, because he does not have a weapon to play on the downshift, looks like. But he is going to flip the downshift and draw 1 card via the Cliff Jumper, thanks to Cliff Jumper, rather. The best case scenario for Brett here is to one-shot the Prowl. But he's not going to do any of that. He's not even going to play an action or upgrade. Very interesting, but he knows what he's doing here, so he's going to send the Cliff Jumper in. Highly unlikely that the Cliff Jumper will die to a crackback next turn, unless Carl has, like, you know, grenade launcher, whatever. So 2 defense here. He's going to take, looks like he's going to take 5. No, took more than 5, didn't he? Is that it? Oh, yeah, I guess, you know, 7 attack, and yeah. Grenade launcher, oh, like I was saying, grenade launcher, press the advantage. Now, press is not as good here, but it's still +2 attack. We're talking about 10 attack, bold 2. 10 bold 2 is a very good chance he can KO. That white helps. And that white helps get around that blue to be able to extend into more flips, and that might actually do it. It's like 15 here. Yep, we still got to flip the defense, and yep, still going to KO the Cliff Jumper. Now, that's big here. The fact that the Cliff Jumper died on this second turn here is actually very big here. So it puts Carl in a great position to even take this game, to be honest. And I say that like this so early because Cliff Jumper being your engine to be able to constantly draw cards throughout the game, being gone like this is a huge dent in the aggro card player's strategy. So it looks like an Enforcement Batons is going to come down. Enforcement Batons is just going to net him a draw and discard with the Wheeljack. So he's clearly digging here. He's clearly hurting for weapons. As we can see again, the very first turn, you know, he didn't have any weapons to be able to play on the downshift like he had first game. So he's absolutely digging, and I'm wondering what he's thinking about doing. I don't know if he can. The thing is, I don't know if he can send the downshift in. I think he has to send the Wheeljack in, and probably since Wheeljack is such a more heavy hitter, I'm not even sure if he has any weapons in the scrap pile. Let's just say he does, but he might have to flip Wheeljack here and send Wheeljack into Ironhide. It feels really bad to have to send, or actually he could send the Wheeljack in as is, which he's gonna do, into the Prowl to try to get rid of the Prowl. And what this allows him to do is have 1 extra defense, you know, on the crackback from General Optimus. So he's gonna have about 8 attack here. And 8 attack is definitely going to do it on the Prowl. Keep in mind, Prowl, while in the graveyard, the KO area, you're able to flip him to bot mode to be able to scrap an enemy weapon. Probably not going to use that anytime soon, especially not on the Enforcement Batons. He may, but he's definitely not going to do that this turn because he's going to flip his big bad General Optimus. Playing a backup beam, so he has Focus 1 and Bold 3. And that's all he's going to do, no action. So I wonder if he doesn't have any actions. He's going to focus and get rid of the Matrix of Leadership. And he gets a pretty decent attack, about, what's that, 11? So Wheeljack is going to take 9 here. Now again, here's a very important turn where cars are like insane. He needs to have a turbo booster or start your engines here. If he does, he could potentially sink 2 attacks into General Optimus and just win the game pretty much here. Because what ends up happening is the next turn, well, you know what? I take that back, because Ironhide could, even though he puts 2 attacks into General Optimus and KOs it, he still has to. The Ironhide can definitely get rid of Wheeljack. There's the turbo booster. And let me not get too ahead of myself. Let's see what happens. So the turbo booster, like we anticipated, cars would love to see 2 or more per game, but ideally they would like to see at least 1 untap per game, 1 start your engines or turbo booster. And he's gonna cycle again with the Wheeljack effect. Carl's looking through his scrap pile, not sure exactly what he's looking for. I don't know if Brett is asking him what he's looking for. Maybe he's asking how many blues are in the scrap pile, maybe, to see how many attacks he wants to sink into the General Optimus. I think the best case scenario is just to get rid of his best guy. Got a couple more cards left in deck. I really feel like he's just asking how many potential blues he has in his deck. One disadvantage you have in playing in webcam is that you're not able to really just look through your opponent's scrap pile and look for the things you want to look for without having to ask your opponent. So like your opponent gets to know what you're looking for, which isn't like the biggest deal, but sometimes it gives you a slight edge if your opponent knows what you're looking for. That's a little bit more complex, but I'll leave that one alone. Some things just get taken away from you with these webcam games. Of course, the most powerful thing we got from webcam was to be able to play this, you know, at all times. It's something we never thought about before the pandemic, but now the pandemic has spawned something new for us to be able to do. Even if we are able to play in real life play, we all still have these webcam tournaments, which are nice to be able to play people all around the world. Okay, so he's gonna flip Wheeljack, talking about 7, and I want to say bold 3. I'm assuming he has a weapon in his scrap pile. Let's just say he does. He's gonna flip Wheeljack here first and then play Confidence. I don't know if that matters whether he flipped Wheeljack first or not, but he definitely wants to have him flip this turn, so I guess it probably doesn't matter, unless I'm missing something. It's not like that's swindled where like you play an upgrade afterwards, because of course he's playing all Autobots, so there's that. Taking some time here. Okay, so he took a considerable amount of time to play that Confidence. He ended up discarding a Peaceful Tyranny and Bastion Shield, and I wasn't going to have you guys sit through that period of time he waited, but he actually didn't end up playing another action off the Confidence. So he's just gonna flip, attack with Wheeljack and flip a bunch of cards here. Kind of blurry, so I can't really tell exactly how much he's. If I'm guessing, he maybe have like 15 attack. And yeah, he's definitely okay. So he decided to KO the Ironhide there. So what that allows is killing the. I guess that was the better play, to kill the Ironhide if you can in one shot, which Wheeljack has the capability of doing. And then send Downshift in. Hopefully Downshift can get a decent amount of damage on it. So then the next turn, one of his bots can KO the Optimus. And it looks like he's going to be attacking for about 7 here. Optimus has Focus 1. He'll have Tough 1. He has a white, and that does extend him into a blue, which does help. So he's only going to take 4 damage here instead of 5, which could be a big deal in the end. You know how Transformers can be a game of living by 1 or being off by 1, however you want to look at it. Going to play a Bastion Shield for no value. Well, I can take it back. For value of being able to have an extra defense, which is really nice. And that's going to put him in a solid position. This turn wasn't like a super strong turn. It was just a defensive turn and a regrouping turn, of course, with the work overtime, if you will. And the Prime with the backup beam already on is going to easily, even without the backup beam, should be able to easily kill the Wheeljack. And what needs to happen here is I guess downshift, or Bredatosaurus with the downshift has to have like Reckless Charge Grenade pretty much. And then flip a solid, you know, amount of oranges, or make sure they're all oranges, which most of his deck is. He's not playing like as mixed as Carl is, so. There's no world where Wheeljack lives. I just hope he's attacking Wheeljack. It would be ridiculous if he didn't. And with that kind of flip, I'm not even gonna bother counting. Whoever he attacked is definitely dead. I just hope it's Wheeljack. Yeah, okay. Not saying Carl would misplay like that, but hey, I'm just making sure. There's no audio in this, so I don't know. And this is going to be Brett's last turn. He has to go big or go home here. So a Reckless Charge Grenade is the best case scenario, or Grenade Launcher Supercharge, or Erratic Lightning Supercharge. If you can't tell what I'm getting at, he needs a powerful action and upgrade play here to pump his attack and go to town. He only has to deal 10 here. Well, I'll take that back, more than 10, because he has a 13 effectively with the 10 extra health and then 3 defense. And there's an Erratic Lightning, okay. And now we just need a Reckless Charge. That's the only thing you can really do, because it's your last turn, and there it is. Okay, Reckless Charge. So you have 11 attack coming in to start. Gonna flip 3 cards. Oh, yeah, 15. 15 is gonna be a lot to come back from. The Carl needs to flip like 2 blues here. No, 3 blues here, which is very unlikely based off of how his deck is built. Okay. Oh, 1 more blue. Man, we got 5 and you're gonna take 10 and die exactly. Insane. Wow. The Omnibot, the downshift has a bold 1 when he has a weapon, so that's why he was able to flip a 3rd card. Wow. That was pretty good. Pretty unlucky for Carl. He needed another blue. I mean, he did flip 2 blues, so I mean, he can't really ask for too much more, but hey, it's possible for it to happen. It just unfortunately didn't pan out for him. And we're moving on to game 3. And so yeah, as you can see, it looks like Carl decides to go into the full-on Sentinel. So he takes out General Optimus Prime, and he's going to play the Sentinel Optimus Prime here. Now, the reason why Carl didn't do a game 2 is because this is a best 3 out of 5, and in the best 3 out of 5, you're not allowed to side deck game 1 and 2. It's not until game 3 where the loser will decide if they want to go first or second, and then the winner will decide if they're going to side bots or not, and then so on and so forth. So it looks like Carl's starting this game. Let's see how the Sentinels fare with all the control that they have with the guys in the KO area. He's going to start with flipping Autobot Mirage, and what that does while it's in the KO area, if you don't know by now, you're able to look at your opponent's hand and take an action from it and scrap it. And yeah, Brett's hand is insane. A heated battle looks like, and 2 grenade launchers. Not 1, but 2. It's really propelling Bredatosaurus here. That's pretty good. So he'll 100% be able to clearly play one of those grenade launchers on his first turn for free because of the downshift. So Carl is probably deciding which bot he wants to lose here. Not sure why Brett has pen and paper, but okay. Oh no, okay, I guess he's just moving it. Cool. So he's going to sacrifice Prowl here. Prowl is most likely the sacrificial lamb here because next turn he probably will die. Let's see who he attacks. Did not flip. He flipped the improvised shield, so that helps a little bit, but he's only attacking for 7. Not really what you want to see, especially with that Sentinel Enigma. I don't even know if Sentinel. I don't think Carl should have sided in Sentinel Enigma. The Sentinel Enigma is only good against blue matchups, like definitely just slower matchups in general. Well, I guess it's all the same. That was redundant. Against Brett's deck, he's not going to be able to have a chance. He's going to die before he gets to 6 turns to be able to flip. I'd say that he could take 5 turns and get an extra flip with the, there's a grenade launcher for the downshift and then trigger Wheeljack. He is going to get an extra attack from the extra flip rather if he triggers the Optimus effect. But even then, I don't think you're going to make it to 5 turns to have a healthy enough Optimus Maximus in order to be able to want to warrant playing that. So that Sentinel Enigma could easily have been another orange card from his side deck, even if that orange card wasn't like that good, because you could just trade it for another green later on. I really don't think he probably should have sided in the Sentinel Enigma, but hey, that's me. He clearly had an idea in mind, so he rolled with it, and it is what it is. So despite him losing a card, for free from the Mirage. He's going to bounce back thanks to the Cliff Jumper and just draw a card for free. Of course, when you flip one of your cards from alt mode to bot mode. Alright, so we're going to just send the downshift in. No further actions or upgrades. And of course, you know, the Carl has to, know that the Bretosaurus has another grenade launcher in his hand. So next couple turns are not looking too pretty for Carl. He's going to flip one blue here, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. We're going to have 12 attack going into the Prowl. Prowl's going to be easily be gotten rid of, rather. We have a Bastion Shield here from Brett. Let's see if he decides to get it. He only has 3 cards in hand, one of which we know is a grenade launcher. He is going to trade a Force Field for the Bastion Shield. Okay. He may have done that because he also saw that Carl had a Bastion Shield on his flips. Remember, turn player decides they're going to get their cards first. So the fact that Brett flipped Bastion Shield, and so since they both flipped Bastion Shield, let's say Brett decides not to get his Bastion Shield, and then, he keeps that Force Field in his hand. Well, he knows it's not as good because Carl ends up getting his Bastion Shield. Then obviously Brett's Force Field won't be as good, as potent. So it looks like he flips Sunstreaker to draw a card, and then he plays a Noble's Blaster and Supercharge on the Prowl. And he's going to be attacking for, what's that, 4, 8, 10 damage? And 10 is nowhere near going to KO the downshift. Well, that's it. I'm not going to say nowhere near. He is going to put 9 damage on it. 8 damage on it, excuse me, I can't count. Biggest thing being is the fact that, so again, Carl's deck, I've said this multiple times, but Carl's deck being mixed, this is one of the unfortunate parts about his deck. He's playing a lot more blues than I remember my Sentinel deck playing, but that's what it is when you play a mid-range deck. You just hope to see the better part of your deck when you're attacking. There's no belligerents or hostilities yet in the game, so of course he can't make both of his sides of the the battles great. Gonna play a Power Punch on the on the Cliff Jumper and draw for Wheeljack, being that Wheeljack is still in alt mode. Of course, we got to keep in mind he still has that grenade launcher. That grenade launcher is looking pretty juicy, putting on that Wheeljack next turn, which is gonna be kind of insane. And the fact that Carl went first means that his prime has to attack. And yeah, Wheeljack could potentially, with 9 attack, bold 3 with that grenade launcher, might actually just kill Prime. And if he doesn't kill it, he's definitely gonna put him close to dead. He decides to discard a Bastion Shield. He's gonna flip Wheeljack, draw a card for Cliff Jumper. Playing a Reckless Charge on that Cliff Jumper, and that's just going to put him way ahead here, especially if he KOs. Man, if he KOs this Ironhide here, which is very likely, 9 attack, bold 3, is pretty much literally just like having Grenade Launcher on Wheeljack and having 9 attack, bold 3. So he just turned into Wheeljack for a turn, essentially. That's a lot of oranges. I don't even know if I should bother counting. Yeah, 13, that's just... Those Reckless Charges are just insane, and that's really going to put Carl way behind here. Losing both of his bots in one shot and him not being able to do the same to Brett is just putting Brett in a very solid position to actually just take this tournament 3-0. Got to trade a Piece to Tyranny, pretty useless now. Of course, if you Piece to Tyranny your only character, you lose the game. People do it as a meme to be funny, but we're not being funny here. We're trying to win a championship, so. I don't even know what kind of plays Carl can do right now. He has to definitely KO somebody here, that's for sure. Force Field helps to help him live. He's with that Supercharge. Did he forget to flip somebody? Did he flip anybody? Yeah, he flipped Ironhide. Okay. No, he didn't flip Ironhide. He didn't flip anybody. He didn't even bother flipping anybody. And he also didn't flip a white. So he needed to flip a white, blue, and orange in order to be able to flip a guy back. And he actually not even going to kill the cliff jumper here. And honestly, the game is just pretty much over here. I think he only had like 7 or 8 attack with that attack, and that's not near enough to be able to kill the cliff jumper. To add insult to injury, if you know, Brett has a bashing shield here and then another pump action like you know, reckless charge or supercharge, definitely just gonna clap this prime here. And even then, even if he doesn't beat it here, even if he doesn't have bashing shield and he just swings as is, he's still in a great position because Carl still next turn has to kill downshift, or well, actually he might can go for wheeljack depending on what kind of firepower Carl has in his hand. But he'll definitely have to try to kill a bot, and even then he's still taking 2 attacks. So. And yeah, that might actually just be the nail in the coffin. We got to start your engines here, which is going to flip everybody back to car mode and then untap one of your cars. So, yeah. Oh my god, okay. Start your engines and turbo booster, and we're going to filter with the wheeljack. We're also going to flip wheeljack here. And yeah, one of the easiest plays you can definitely make here. 2 untaps going, 3 attacks into a guy, or into one character. We are going to, he's going to swing the cliff jumper in first. Makes sense. It'll most likely break the force field here. And I feel like Carl at this point is just going through the motions. It's most likely over. He does flip 2 blues here though. And but it still will pop the force field though. He has 11 health left with 1 defense. Downshift's going to come in. I think downshift only has 3 attack in that mode, so we're going to attack for 4, 5, 6, 7. Carl's gonna flip. Wow. Okay, so we got 4 here. I'm gonna take 3. It's gonna put him at that at least makes this a little bit entertaining. Taking 3 damage there. Wheeljack's gonna probably finish it out here, but even if he doesn't, Carl, there's no way Carl can come back. Even like with burn damage to like out one of the bots, he still has 2 more bots to deal with. And being that you can only play 1 action and 1 upgrade per turn, there's no like crazy brainstorm shenanigans he'll be able to do to be able to get out of this one. So. And Carl's just going through the last bit of motions here just to kind of just play it out, even though it's going to be over. It's not going to be able to deal direct damage to 2 different bots and also attack for game. It's just not going to happen. And yeah, Bretosaurus is going to end up taking this tournament in the 3rd championship. So he has the win from SDBG 3, 5, and then now 6. So congratulations to him, and be expecting the finals for SDBG 7 to be coming soon. If you guys would like to sign up potentially for SDBG 8, which will include Wave 5 and a slightly customized ban list and you know, a vision that I have for nothing too crazy, you know, but definitely be looking forward for a link for that if you guys miss playing Sky Shadow, if you miss the madness that is Decepticons and Orange Black Madness and all that good stuff. You know, definitely join that tournament. Be looking out for some information in my Discord. I may post and share in the Alpha Trion Facebook group, and we'll go from there. So as always, you know, I mean, always excited to do these commentary. I'm always excited to do commentary over these games of the TCG, and we're going to keep on rocking, guys. We have ATP4 that just came out, so be looking out for some content for ATP4 as well coming up soon. And definitely go to the Alpha Trion Discord and get in on the action if you guys would like to have some custom cards printed out via the Patreon. It's a very nice setup how things are going on here. You can also just print out the cards. Nobody's forcing you or asking you to buy these cards, you know, that are like customly printed. But if you would like to, it's available there for you via the Patreon. And or you can you just print them out yourself, and then you can still get rocking in the Discord and play in the tournaments. Tournaments are $20 per tournament. They're monthly tournaments, or you can pay the amount, I want to say it's $40 for the Patreon, and that covers that. Tournaments every month, and it also covers the cards, you know, getting the printout of the cards, which is a really nice setup. So yeah, look forward to more TF content coming from me soon. As always, you guys know what it is. Y'all have a great day and or night whenever you're catching this video. It's your homie S. Dot, that's .TCG, heading out. Peace.